I hope your holiday was fine. Did you have any uncomfortable moments with Trump-loving relatives? Well, if you did, I just want to say this to you. Sack up! Because on Thanksgiving, the White House press corps had to deal with actual Trump.
Are you stupid? Are you a stupid person? And you're just asking questions because you're a stupid person.
I'm sorry, sir. The question was, would you care for more stuffing? But look, don't blame the president. I saw you booing. Don't boo. It's Thanksgiving. Everybody gets a little stressed out. I'm sure the president calmed down and delivered a more apropos message to the American people on this Thanksgiving holiday of togetherness.
I love it. Chop. See, we're not allowed to do that anymore. You know, we're not allowed. You're not allowed to use the word Indian anymore. The only one that wants you to are the Indians.
God damn it, Grandpa! We talked about this! I had the same thing happen in my house. Look, we all hate sitting next to the doddering old person at Thanksgiving, which I think might be me now. But imagine if that was your job. And instead of being with your family and friends this holiday, you're in the press corps. You got to fly down to Mar-a-Lago. The Winter White House. And put up with this shit for a living.
Today I'm in Florida, but generally I'm in the White House. I'm in the Oval Office. I won by a lot. I ran a second time. I won by a lot. And I would say to myself, why are we calling it Gulf of Mexico when we have 90? I like Tom Cruise, the last of our movie stars. Biden can't hit a ball 30 yards, I'm telling you. I looked at his swing. You probably had your dinner already, but I didn't. And I know exactly what I'm going to have. Turkey.
Yeah, we're all having turkey. Excuse me, I'm just going to go doom scroll on my phone in the bathroom for a while. But hey, everyone has trouble after throwing down a pound of turkey with all the fixings, keeping their thoughts straight. I'm sure his written Thanksgiving message to the American people will be more circumspect, more rooted in gratitude.
On Thanksgiving night, he called Governor Tim Walz, quote, seriously retarded.
On Thanksgiving? Are you confusing that with Festivus? And by the way, seriously retarded? Not even like playfully retarded, like Mr. Bean, you know what I mean? Or celebratorily retarded, like the Black Eyed Peas song? Yeah, they're very lucky that started rhymes with it. You know, the press corps had to spend the whole holiday weekend down in Mar-a-Lago listening to this brain ooze, and then they couldn't even go back home by themselves. They had to fly back with this nut and ask him if he wants to clarify any of the nonsense.
Do you stand by that claim of calling Tim Walz retarded?
What is happening? When Ken Burns does the documentary on this era, and then the president called Tim Walz retarded. And by the way, to the what do you think he's going to say to that question? Yes, on reflection, it was obviously a poor choice of words. I have nothing but respect for Governor Walz and the entire Todd community. Perhaps it's time for me to step back and start to listen. He's not doing that.
Do you stand by that claim of calling Tim Walz retarded?
Yeah, I think there's something wrong with him.
Something wrong with him? With him? You were sitting with your family at Thanksgiving, belly full of turkey and pie, surrounded by the love of your extended crime family. But your initial instinct was to truth a slur at Tim Walz? And there's something wrong with him? And by the way, he's not the one who mysteriously got an MRI the other day. What was up with that?
What part of your body was the MRI looking at?
I have no idea.
That's not physically possible. To have no idea. It's not possible. What would you say to the doctor? No, don't tell me. I want to find out at my MRI reveal party. It's the lymph nodes. What is happening? For God's sakes, man, were you not curious at all? When they laid you down in a tube for a half an hour to 45 minutes? You didn't want to know what they might be doing? Or did you just think to yourself, what a loud tanning bed? What is happening? I can do this all day. How about letting us have a gander at that MRI then?
So if they want to release it, it's okay with me to release it. It's perfect. It's absolutely perfect.
So you didn't even know what they scanned, but you got a perfect score. Because, by the way, that's how they score the MRIs. You either get a big stamp, perfect, or you get in red ink, see me. You don't want that. You don't want to see me. And while the president wasn't exactly sure which organs were scanned, he knew which one wasn't.
It wasn't the brain because I took a cognitive test and I aced it.
Did you ace it? Or is perhaps the cognitive test knowing what part of your body was scanned? Maybe that was the test. But of course, because it was Thanksgiving and Donald Trump so appreciates the time that these reporters have spent away from their families, he did end this brief session with some words of gratitude for the difficult jobs that these reporters do, especially the two reporters standing closest to him.
I took a cognitive test and I aced it. I got a perfect mark, which you would be incapable of doing. Goodbye, everybody.
Thank you
too.
President.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Two things here that I love. The first is when he goes, "You too." And the woman on the right, whose face is like, "What the f*** did I do?" I'm just standing there. She's the one with the cognitive question. I'm just you couldn't finish the cognitive test, and f*** you too. Like, what is that? That's just crazy. And he's calling him stupid. It seems like about a week ago, someone on Trump's press team was like, "You got to stop calling the female reporters ugly and piggy." And he was like, "Got it. I won't do that anymore at all. I know what I'll do. You're stupid." Oh. And the second thing I like about that clip is that Trump thinks he's delivering the mic drop. "You're stupid. You're too. Good night. Tip your waitresses." But then he's got to waddle all the way back to his bed. Look at him go. He's got to waddle all the way back there, pretending he doesn't need handrails. Isn't that what's happening? By the way, that plane's not even in the air. That's just instability from the extra liquid sloshing around in his cankles. That's what he's telling me. When he moves, he's got so much extra fluid in there, it's like pushing a milk carton when he moves. But let's forget for a moment about this president's ugly contempt for those who are charged with getting information about his presidency out to other Americans. And let's just spend a little time also enjoying the utter incoherence of his presidency in general. For instance, the policy change that Trump is making in the aftermath of the terrible National Guard shooting in D.C. That horrible act was done by one individual who happened to be part of a larger group of Afghans who were brought here because they risked their lives helping the United States during our invasion of Afghanistan, which of course means...
We know that an Afghan national is the suspected shooter of these National Guardsmen.
Yeah, they people that shouldn't be in our country, that's right.
So you announced that asylum...
And that includes Somalians and it includes plenty of others.
Did you just Somalia Afghanistan? Because of this one Afghan, all Afghans are suspect, and also Somalians. He did to Somalia and Afghanistan exactly what he did to the reporters on the plane. You're banned from this country because of one terrible thing that one of you people did. You too! If you're wondering what Somalians had to do with the Afghan shooter, yeah.
What do the Somalians have to do with this Afghan guy who shot the national?
Nothing, but Somalians have caused a lot of trouble.
They had nothing to do with it. Just reminded me that there are other groups I also don't like. I don't see color. I just hate all of it. So our entire immigration system is now going to be based around the principle that if even one person from your ethnic or religious group up, you all got to go. And a screening process that can't tell the difference. How do I know it can't tell the difference?
Your DOJ IG just reported this year that there was thorough vetting by DHS and by the FBI of these Afghans who were brought into the U.S. So why do you blame the Biden administration?
Because they let them in. Are you stupid? Are you a stupid person? And you're just asking questions because you're a stupid person.
See, that question was not a stupid person's question. A stupid person's question would be, may I eat my desk? To which you would say, what a stupid question. It's your desk. You can do whatever you want with it. Look, the question relates to, can any free society create a 100% foolproof system for immigrants or for its natural citizens? I mean, what criterion will we use now?
Donald Trump said he plans to, quote, remove anyone who is not a net asset to the United States.
How do you... By what measure? How?
If they can't love our country, we don't want them.
But how do you measure that? What, if they stand at the border on a scale of to How much do you say to the moon and back or just to the moon? How much? I mean, it's utterly incoherent. Can you give us a more specific idea of which groups would pass your muster?
I love the Irish, special people. I really do. I love the Irish. We're back Italians. We love the Italians.
Donald Trump defended wanting immigrants from, quote, nice countries like Denmark and Switzerland.
Okay, now I'm starting to see a pattern. I'm sure it's only in my head.
Refugee admissions into the country right now are essentially at zero, with the exception of Afrikaners fleeing persecution in South Africa.
So one horrific act by one Afghan means all Afghans are suspect. But we now welcome with open arms all Afrikaners. Because, I mean, really, what have white South Africans ever done to anybody? Is there anyone else that you would just let in as well? Anything weirdly specific?
I also like very competent people coming into our country, maitre d's, wine, experts, even waiters, high quality waiters. You got to get the best people.
We're so So Somalians aren't welcome unless they're also sommeliers. By the way, By the way, I want to make this clear. I don't mind Trump having strict standards. The problem is, if you are from the so-called less desirable countries, he does not view you as individuals. You are just part of a larger amorphous blob of suspicion that deserves no grace. And if one of you f***s up, all are condemned. But he doesn't even hold that standard for his own ethnic group. People from Magistan. Now, that happens to be a group that's got its own pretty solid criminal backstory. And I'm not even referring to January 6th. Let's just go ahead and give them a mulligan for the whole trying to overthrow the government thing. Just look at the crimes they've committed since January 6th.
Owning unauthorized firearms.
Defrauding investors of $41 million.
Arrested after a dog attack that injured 4 people.
Reportedly raised a firearm during a traffic stop.
Making a terroristic threat.
Convicted of plotting to kill FBI agents.
Tried to bribe child sex victims.
Thefts of industrial copper.
Obviously, that's not in order of severity. We're ratcheting up. We're going to kill an FBI agent, paying off child sex trafficking, and where's my copper? Where? That was industrial copper. I was going to do something that people do with copper. I was going to make a lamp. Some of these people, it's almost like they already knew before they were pardoned that they were going to use their second chance to commit more crimes.
Zachary Allum. He was sentenced to 8 years for assaulting police officers on January 6th before he demanded a pardon from Trump. When a local station asked Allum what he would do once he was released, he said, quote, "That's just for me to know and you to find out."
And boy, did we find out after he was arrested for a home invasion. Apparently at Salvador Dali's home. Dali came home and went, "Where's my mustache?" Oh, just have to make one out of industrial copper. So considering how devoted to crime some of Magistan is, I would assume Trump has no choice but to denaturalize and deport everyone in MAGA as well, or...
January 6th, people, they're patriots in so many cases. These were people that actually love our country.
They were peaceful people. These were great people.
There has never been a group of people treated so harshly or unfairly in our country's history.
Really? No other group treated this harshly. I guess we've forgotten slavery and how Ellen treated her staff. You know, there goes that invite. That's the real Trump standard. If you're not part of Trump's group, you have no margin of error in this country. But if you are, it's all margin of error. Not only are you not judged by the worst of your group, the worst of your group isn't judged at all. And to anyone who thinks that Trump's third world immigration crackdown is really about national security and is not just an opportunity for a USA complexion correction, I have but one thing to say to you.
Are you stupid? Are you a stupid person?
It's been a chaotic year for the White House, from the ballroom construction to a new decor style that design experts are calling leprechaun bukkake. The point is that People's House is in rough shape, and I don't know if anything at all could save it now. Wait, do you hear that? Is that what I think it is?
Who gives a about Christmas stuff and decoration, but I need to do it, right?
Yes, it's a Christmas miracle!
The First Lady unveiled the 2025 White House Christmas decorations today. This year's theme, home is where the heart is.
touching everything like that. Would someone who hates Christmas do this? Or this? Yes, the theme is home is where the heart is, or as Melania calls it, New York. Can I go home now? I mean, good God, she didn't even take her coat off. Keep car running outside. I won't be long. And while Melania was decking the halls, Donald was dreaming of sugar plums dancing in his head. Unfortunately, it was in the middle of a cabinet meeting where he somehow kept falling asleep while people worked really hard to kiss his ass.
As we speak to you now, Steve Woodcock is in Moscow trying to find a way to end this war, to save lives of 9,000 people, Mr. President, as you well know, are dying every week.
Jeez, normally dudes fall asleep after someone blows them. If you're falling asleep mid-blowjob, you should see a doctor. But let's move on to Kash Patel, FBI director and man who just found out that Kash Patel is the FBI director. And now a new report is giving people yet another reason to question Kash's priorities as director.
The day after Charlie Kirk's assassination, sources in this report say that Kash Patel flew in to Provo Airport on the FBI jet and then refused to get off until someone provided him with a medium-sized FBI raid jacket. One was found belonging to a female agent and taken to the plane.
Okay, obviously, as an enlightened progressive person, I believe that gender expression is a spectrum and we shouldn't judge people for what they wear. At the same time, gay! But honestly, you can't even tell that it's a women's jacket. Although looking back on it, you can tell that he was up there thinking, F***, I hope no one can tell I'm wearing a women's jacket. But come on, throwing a tantrum and refusing to get out of the plane until he had exactly what he wanted to wear? I know he borrowed a woman's jacket, but did he borrow her period too? And getting his jacket wasn't even enough. Kash still needed to accessorize.
But then Patel, according to these sources, was displeased by the fact that it didn't have Velcro patches on the upper arms, and so then these agents had to go scurrying around trying to find Velcro patches. Finally, some SWAT raid guys produced them off their own jackets.
Oh my God. It's like trying to get your 8-year-old out the door for school. No, Mom, I'm not leaving until I find my special jacket, the one with the cool patches. But let's move on to the big news about Pete Hegseth, Secretary of Defense and guy who will buy you a beer even if you're underage. And also, you didn't even ask him for beer. And also, he's just drinking the beer all by himself. I'm kidding. Pete assures us he's sober, although he might need a drink now.
Now to the intensifying controversy surrounding Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth over an alleged order to kill everyone on a suspected drug boat and a second strike that targeted survivors. Lawmakers from both parties and legal experts say this could be a war crime.
Oh my God. I can't believe Pete Hegseth might be going down for war crimes. I thought for sure it'd be a hit and run while running away from another hit and run. But don't worry, Pete's already prepared for jail. He got the gang tattoos years ago. Way to plan ahead, Mr. Secretary. And one thing we know, if somebody did something wrong, he's gonna man up and take responsibility as the Secretary of War.
Pete Hegseth put the blame for the second strike squarely on his commander, Admiral Mitch Bradley, saying on X, I stand by him and the combat decisions he has made on the September 2nd mission and all others since.
What a little bitch. Blaming someone by pretending to praise them, I stand by him and all the decisions he made on his own while I was out of the room. If you want to get to him, you know what? You'll have to get through me, and I will let you do that, as you will. I also love how Pete's also pre-blaming Bradley for all the others since. And I also congratulate the Admiral for cheating on my wife at the holiday party next week. So yeah, things are starting to look a little dicey for the Secretary of Defensiveness, but Pete is fighting back the way a true warrior does, with memes.
The Defense Secretary of the United States today posting this meme of it, Franklin the Turtle, a children's character, standing on the edge of a helicopter firing a missile at a boat.
Okay, well, this whole image is deeply disturbing, especially the part where the turtle is wearing a helmet. Why does he need a helmet? His whole body is a helmet. And obviously, Hegseth should not be using Franklin this way. There's already several turtles who famously kill people for a living. Use them. So obviously this story is developing rapidly, but it really does show you why it's so important to vet your cabinet members. If only there were signs that Hegseth would be so cavalier about war crimes.
Back in 2019, Hegseth reportedly spent months personally lobbying Trump to pardon multiple U.S. service members who had been accused of war crimes.
If he committed premeditated murder, then Duncan did as well, then I did as well. What do you think you do in war?
Put me in jail then.
Put us all in jail.
Let's begin with President Trump. He started his second term in January, promising to keep America out of foreign wars. Now it's December, and he almost made it a year.
President Trump hinting at land strikes in Venezuela as backlash on the controversial boat strikes deepens.
We're going to start doing those strikes on land, too. You know, the land is much easier. It's much easier. And we know the routes they take. We know everything about them. We know where they live. We know where the bad ones live.
We know where they live. We know if they've been good or bad. What is he, drone strike Santa? So yeah, Trump is launching a war on narco-terrorists, which, by the way, I get why he calls them narco-terrorists, because Americans know how to feel about terrorists. We hate those guys. But if you just say it's a war on drug dealers, that's a person we invited to bring us drugs that we wanted. That's like if they told you to start hating your Amazon delivery guy. Like, that's your guy. He's bringing your blender. But hey, this war in Venezuela just shows how serious Donald Trump is about going after these drug traffickers. If there's even one guy on a little fishing boat, Trump's taking him out. So drug dealers, watch your back.
President Trump has issued a full and unconditional pardon for the former president of Honduras. Juan Orlando Hernandez was serving a 45-year sentence after he was convicted on major drug trafficking charges in the U.S. last year.
Like I just said, drug dealers, watch your back, because Trump is about to give you a nice massage. I don't even know what's crazier, that President Trump is pardoning the president of Honduras for selling drugs, or that the president of Honduras was selling drugs. People work their whole lives just to become president. So for you to get there and say to yourself, now I get to do my dream, is crazy. At least Walter White had a teacher salary. You're the president. And not only are you selling drugs, you're so bad at it, you get arrested in a whole different country. But maybe I'm missing something about this pardon. Maybe he's not some kingpin. I mean, this is America, the country that locks people up for years just because they happen to have a little baggie of drugs. How do we know this marginalized president deserved 45 years? I'm sure whatever this guy did, it wasn't that bad.
Juan Orlando Hernandez helped smuggle 400 tons of cocaine into the U.S.
I'm sorry, 400 tons of cocaine? First of all, how do you even shove all that up your ass? I didn't even know you could measure cocaine in tons. It's like if someone told you they weighed 48 degrees Fahrenheit. Like, the f*** are you talking about? 400 tons of cocaine, that sounds like all the cocaine in the world. Give me another unit based on not all the cocaine in the world.
More than 400 tons, which is about 4.5 billion individual doses of cocaine.
Doses? Is that the term? Hey, man, I'm going to head to the bathroom and do a couple of recommended serving sizes. You could tell this is someone who doesn't know about cocaine because you don't measure it in doses. You measure it in half-written screenplays, all right? That's like saying, hey, do you mind if I get another dollop of meth? But the point is, in the middle of an active war against drug traffickers, Donald Trump has pardoned a man who smuggled in enough cocaine to give every American resting Kash Patel face. It's confusing to say the least, but if I know Donald Trump, he'll have a very coherent and well thought out explanation for this pardon.
You've made so clear how you want to keep drugs out of the U.S.
Right.
Can you explain more about why you would pardon a notorious drug trafficker?
Well, I don't know who you're talking about.
You know you've been pardoning too many people when you're like, I'm sorry, which notorious drug lord are we talking about? At least give me the first letter or we'll be here all night. It's wild how Trump always talks to the media like he's in court. He's like, I don't know who you're talking about. I wasn't there. I'm not even here. But after they reminded Trump who this guy was, he did have some semblance of an explanation.
Well, you take a look. I mean, they could say that you take any country you want. If somebody sells drugs in that country, that doesn't mean you arrest the president and put him in jail for the rest of his life. And that includes this country, okay? To be honest, I mean, if somebody does something wrong, do you put the president of the country in jail?
Clearly, Trump is worried about a slippery slope here. It's like that classic poem, first they came for the wildly corrupt presidents, and I said nothing because that would be admissible in court. But I'll be honest, I don't think Trump pardoned another president so that he could get pardoned later. That's just too smart for Trump. It's like seeing a monkey draw a cube. There's no way he knew that's what he was drawing. There had to be another, dumber reason why Trump pardoned Hernandez.
The ex-president of Honduras wrote a letter to President Trump back in October calling Trump Your Excellency and praising Trump's resilience in what he called the face of political persecution, writing in part, just as you, President Trump, I have suffered political persecution targeted by the Biden-Harris administration.
It was that easy? All you have to do is write Trump a letter saying that Biden framed you for something you definitely did, had a trial for, and were convicted of. You are the most did it. Because if it really is that easy, you know what this means. I don't think Diddy can read or write.
We are just 2 weeks away from the deadline for the DOJ to release the Epstein files. And Pam Bondi, if you're listening, it's still not too late to release them advent calendar style, you know? Let's see December 4th. Okay, what's in it today? Ooh, Bill Clinton, huh? In the meantime, House Democrats continue to release their own Epstein documents. So, what's in this latest drop? Is it emails? Maybe bank records?
We're seeing new images of the notorious Caribbean estate dubbed Epstein Island. Democrats on the House Oversight Committee releasing more than 150 photos and videos of the sprawling mansion, videos of the pool area, bedrooms, and bathrooms. There were also framed photos of the financier and his partner, Ghislaine Maxwell, like this one with the late Pope John Paul II.
Wow. Wow, I can't believe it. The face of the world's most notorious pedophile ring got to meet Jeffrey Epstein. Wow. Amazing. That's the most game-recognized game photo I've ever seen. Fun fact, you know who took that photo? Bill Cosby. Interesting. Now, this release doesn't contain any major bombshells, but we did learn one new thing. Epstein Island looked like shit. I mean, how does a billionaire's private island look like a 2-star Airbnb? I'm not even talking about the sex rooms. The common spaces are even worse.
Images show a room that appears to be used as a library with 4 armchairs and a chalkboard with scribbled words.
What the is that layout? Look, I know the sex crimes are the main story, but I cannot remain silent about this furniture placement. Who places 4 lazy boys that close together? Come on, boys, come to my library. We can smoke cigars and rub knees together. I mean, what happens if all 4 of you decide to recline at once? It's chaos. This man is sick. You don't want to throw a table in the middle, at least? I know it's a sex compound, but what if a couple of guys want to do a puzzle while their fluids replenish, you know? Jeffrey, come on! You have all the money in the world, but you don't have one pal who gets a Herman Miller catalog? The pedophile billionaire couldn't find one pedophile decorator to help out here. And look, and don't say it was Ghislaine's job to decorate, because that's sexist. She was a working professional who was very busy with her own sex trafficking career. And that wasn't even the only eyesore in the room.
Another image shows a blackboard in his study. There are the words power, deception, plots.
What are they, brainstorming evil plans? What do we got? We got power, deception, what else? Come on, we're an evil cabal here, people. No bad ideas. Plots, okay, kind of the same thing, but all right. And then I guess there's one guy who threw out music. Not really on the same page, but okay, Diddy, thank you for contributing. Please tell me there was one room that didn't feel like a sad dad riddle.
The pictures revealing a room with a dentist chair and masks along the wall.
Masks of men's faces on the walls, and what may be one of the most unnerving images that we saw today.
Nice choice. I myself am a little squeamish about going to the dentist, but if there's one thing that puts me at ease, it's haunted orgy masks. But this is the problem with being a pedophile. This is a problem with being a pedophile. Everything you do suddenly seems creepy. But this is actually one of those things that has an explanation.
A dentist chair, which a source tells CBS News was put in for one of Epstein's girlfriends, a European studying to be a dentist.
Wait, okay, all right. I thought this was a weird sex thing, but they're actually doing dentistry here? That is somehow way worse. Imagine being the one guy on the flight to Epstein Island who is only going for a tooth cleaning. Honey, Prince Andrew goes to the same dentist as me. She must be a really good dentist. You know what? Enough of that. Enough. Let's move on to that drunk raccoon who's going viral for all the chaos he caused. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth. This poor guy has spent all week dodging accusations of war crimes just because he might have committed war crimes. And now he's got this to deal with.
A new Pentagon Inspector General's report found he put U.S. service members at risk by sharing sensitive details of an active bombing mission in Yemen in March in a Signal group chat with other top officials, which mistakenly included a journalist. Hegseth denied wrongdoing when the story broke this past spring.
Nobody was texting war plans.
Oh, okay, buddy. No need to be that close to me. We're not sitting in Epstein armchairs right now, okay? No one's saying you were texting war plans. Remind me, what did you text?
He detailed the times F-18s would launch and, quote, when the first bombs will definitely drop.
Okay, kind of sounds like you were texting war plans. In fact, texting those words makes the iPhone send little bomber jets across the screen. Regardless, an investigation couldn't hurt. Pete, I assume you would be happy to cooperate.
Hegseth refused an interview request, would not turn over his phone, and handed over only a couple of screenshots.
Oh, that sounds innocent to me. I have nothing to hide. See, there's my phone. See? It's right there. Clearly, there are a lot of outstanding questions at the Defense Department that investigative reporters could get to the bottom of. Unfortunately, last month they banned any journalist who didn't agree to only publish what the government allowed them to publish. But don't worry, because the DOD just welcomed in a new crop of approved journalists. Let's see who the new fresh faces are.
We're welcoming new media outlets that actually reach Americans, ask real questions, and don't pursue a biased agenda. Yes, Matt.
Kingsley, if Nicolas Maduro leaves Venezuela today, what role will the Department of War have in a post-Maduro Venezuela?
Ah! Matt Gaetz is a reporter now? This feels like when you're watching an episode of Law & Order and you're like, wait a second, that grieving father played a defense lawyer 3 seasons ago. Yes, the entire Pentagon press corps has been replaced by MAGA personalities. You got Matt Gaetz, Laura Loomer, James O'Keefe, Jack Posobiec. And if you know who all these people are, I am begging you, please get offline. Touch grass or snow or whatever. A little bit of moss. Whatever is lying on the ground outside right now, dog shit, really anything. Anything would be better. Go touch it. Although those are just the big names. Let's meet some of the newer people whose personality disorders we just haven't discovered yet.
Brandon Miner, Timcast Media here at the Pentagon, hanging out in the Department of War briefing room. And I am here with Lance. Lance, who are you? What do you do?
So I used to be a TikToker back in the day before I got banned at 150,000 followers.
Okay. I'm just going to put down didn't attend journalism school. Cool. I am confused. I'm confused. If you guys are at the Pentagon, then who's vaping in your mom's basement? Like, how does this work? But hey, you know what? Maybe this kid is more impressive than he looks. I mean, he did get banned from TikTok, I assume for speaking truth to power.
Before I got banned at 150,000 followers for basically saying I don't and would never have sex with a transgender.
Oh! Was that a big problem for you, buddy? Lots of people, all different genders, just breaking down the door for a chance to ride that Lance train? Is that what's going on? Look, all I can say is that you, sir, are no Wolf Blitzer. That dude will anyone. But enough about the War Department. Enough. Let's move on to the U.S. Institute of Peace. You may remember it was once one of the first agencies President Trump tried to shut down when he took office in January. But now it looks like he's had a change of heart and wall.
The U.S. Institute of Peace now has a new name, the Donald J. Trump Institute of Peace.
Wonderful. Wonderful. The Donald J. Trump Institute of Peace. I look forward to seeing it alongside the Benjamin Netanyahu Bureau of Urban Planning and the RFK Jr. School for Singing. But the renaming, keep an eye out for it. Keep an eye out. The renaming happened on the occasion of Donald Trump attending a peace ceremony between Rwanda and Congo, where we got to experience one of the most beautiful moments known to man. Donald Trump trying to pronounce an African leader's name.
I want to thank the two courageous leaders. They are courageous leaders. They really are courageous leaders, great people. President Tshisekedi.
He really just went for it, right? Yeah. Like a driver plowing over the school zone speed bumps at 90 miles an hour. Boom! I love how he pauses and lets people say, oh no, right before pronouncing the name. This guy is a dummy. Everyone knows that leader's name is Tshisekedi. You guys, I'm not president, okay? Give me a break.